What's up, everybody? This is your boy Chainsaw. Boy, cronyism is alive and well in Mike Parsons, Missouri. And look, if you're sick and tired of hearing about it, I'm sick and tired of saying it. Okay, so we'll just jump right into that. Firstly, though, I do want to remind everyone that the show Chainsaw, Cash, Coffee, and Chaos is almost 100% self-funded. And so to show your support, you can go to chainsawccc.com/YouTube, subscribe, and or use my referral links at chainsawccc.com. Get your free stocks with Weeble, free cash from M1, simply chainsawccc.com/Weeble, chainsawccc.com/M1 to get your free cash and your free stocks from M1 and from Weeble, and get started trading right away. So let's get to 1,000 likes and I'll do a giveaway. It's probably going to be cash. But anyway, let's just jump right into it. So I caught this headline a few days ago. This is old news. This is old news, but good news. Honestly, this hasn't really made any kind of headline news, and I was very surprised about that. This is coming from KMA Land, 96,960 AM, 99.1 FM. Missouri News Headlines, Thursday, November 4th, 2021. Again, this is posted on the 4th, of course, conveniently enough. Firstly, Missouri welcomes you, or does it? We'll jump right into that. So, Bethany, Missouri. A Bethany City Hall confrontation has resulted in charges against a man from Washington State. 45-year-old Travis Heinz, or Heinze, is being held in the Harrison County Jail on charges of harassment and peace disturbance. Bethany police were called when witnesses say Heinz was irate and confrontational Monday morning. So that would have been the 3rd, right? He told city workers he had a problem with the 2-hour parking signs around the courthouse square because he might want to stay longer. Irate. The first officer on the scene says Heinz became confrontational with him and was recording the incident on his phone. Well, the city hall workers say they called the police because they became worried about their safety when Heinz wouldn't calm down. Okay, so let's take a look at that. If you're not from the area, like, where's Bethany, Missouri, right? So this is planet Earth. Thanks to Google Maps. That's Michigan, so we'll just skip over that. So Bethany, we're gonna zoom into Bethany, roll up a little bit. So that's gonna be definitely north of the north of Jefferson City, of course, north of Kansas City, north of the Missouri River, right? Way up there. Oh, that's okay. That's up by Iowa land. Okay, let's take a look. What? It's a small town, and I believe last time I checked, it's a really small town. Like, it's just right up, what is that? Right up the 35 from KC, right? I believe the town's population, and we can take a look at that real quick. Let's see, Bethany, Missouri, population. Right at 3,000 people, right? 3,000 people, Bethany, Missouri. So let's just jump right into that. So there was a bunch of wild stuff happening in Bethany, Missouri. Luckily it was caught on camera, so let's take a few minutes and come up with this. And this is, again, the guy who actually filmed this. He's got a YouTube channel, believe that. This is called Let's Exchange IDs with Travis Heinz, or Heinze, depending on your location. This video is entitled My Necklace Cam with the Secretaries at Bethany City Hall. Let's take a listen. Bringing some sound here. We've got that set, and all right, let's take a look.
Excuse me, visitor here. Should I go through the window?
The interior literally looks like every city hall in the state of Missouri, but that's beside the point. So what was that there? He comes in the front, through the doors, and looks like office doors wide open there.
Excuse me, visitor here.
Every single
Should I
door in
go
this
through the
joint is
window?
open.
I don't know if you normally keep the door open or whatever. Oh, you got a cat? Okay, at City Hall.
Hi, can I help you?
Well, yeah, I'm having difficulty with the parking.
What do you mean with the parking?
Where's the sections for the 2 hours? Because I'm a little confused. I was going to choose some spots around the library. I want to go to the library, but there's these 2 hour parking spots, and I don't know. It's just really difficult. Oh, you got the door's normally not open, huh? But I'm having difficulty with the parking situation.
Sounds like they just closed the door on him. Okay.
Does anybody ever have problems with parking around here?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I feel very unique in that matter because I'm really
I'm really confused.
Yeah, I want to go to the library, and
You can go to the library.
Okay. Well, yeah.
There's a garage
But
parking over there.
I might stay a little longer than 2 hours in my spot, and I just
There is a garage parking over there.
garage parking,
It's covered parking.
covered parking.
Have you
Like-
been over by the library?
Well, yeah, I drove on the left side of it, going down the main street. I think I was going this way, and I saw the library on my right side, and I was like looking, and I passed it, and I was looking for like parking around it, and it's really, I mean, I'm seeing it's really people are parking on the sidewalks, but I'm seeing there's 2 hour parking.
I don't believe that they're parking on the sidewalk.
Yeah, well, I can take pictures. You want to see pictures? You don't.
That is not part of my forte. That has nothing to do with me.
Oh, who should I be? Who? Can you direct me to the person I need to talk to about the parking situation?
Well, if you have a problem with the
Yep.
parking situation,
Yeah, because I don't know. 'Cause I'm parked right in front of City Hall.
I can tell you.
Is that a problem with the 2 hour parking in front of City Hall?
I don't know where you keep coming up with this 2 hour parking.
I saw 2 signs. Do you need me to show you a picture of that?
No.
Because I've seen 2 signs that say 2 hour parking from 7 a.m. to 5 or something.
I'm yeah. Because I'm like exceedingly confused.
What?
So let's take a look at that. We can actually zoom in on what exactly Mr. Heinz is talking about here. Let's see. Bethany, Missouri Library. There we go. Oh, almost got it. We'll just zoom in right here. Zoom in a little bit more. Come on, Google. Do your googly thing. Grab this feller. Take a look at the old street view. Okay, so got a one-way. Looking like it splits off here. So if he was coming down from the one-way, of course, again, this looks like every other small town anywhere in Missouri. Center town is going to be your courthouse there, center of downtown. So then we've got one-way streets, 2-lane one-ways. That's unique. I don't know that I've seen that before myself, but, you know, might be going on in your small town. I got folks parking over here. Typically what they'll do is, you know, they'll have parking on, you know, it'll be a one-way, but it'll be sort of like a roundabout. So, you know, you can park on one side and then just on the one side. But this is different. Let's see. This must be the garage parking that she was talking about there. And so you've got garage parking, or looking like Edward Jones. And again, this is from Google Maps back in 2013. So it looked like you got garage parking for both the Edward Jones and for the library there. But yeah, if you were just driving through, you might kind of wonder what this is. Looks like it used to be a bank at some point. Maybe that's a drop-off. So you got literally 2 parking spots, because this is also a one-way right through here. No, this is a 2-way. But there's no parking. It's just all sidewalks, as far as the eye can see. You got that nice little alley there. So yeah, that, you know, if you're not from here, or if you're not from there, that might be a little bit weird, a little bit confusing. Best thing to do, you know, maybe stop and ask somebody who's from there. Best place to find people who are actually from the area might be City Hall. I'm not going to tell you that I haven't on occasion, even recently, stopped in small communities that I'm not really that familiar with, looking for, a diner, someplace, a mom and pop shop where I can get me a cup of coffee and, scrambled eggs and a biscuit or, a nice Greek omelet or something. You get sick of one spot, you come somewhere else. You're not familiar with the community. You're like, hey, I'm driving around. I'm looking around. Is there anything to eat? I can't find nothing. So you just so happen to stop by and see the police station. And there's a couple of guys out there in uniform and, stop by and be like, hey, where's a good place to, get a nice breakfast at? Because obviously those are the guys who are going to know where all the good food is, right? But, yeah, let's see if that's a real good idea or not.
So what I'm trying to explain to you is
Yeah.
the square is one way around. It's one way.
Yeah, and that too. That's wow. I almost went the wrong way.
Oh.
Well, I'm just telling you.
I understand what you're saying. It's one way.
An immediate attitude, okay.
I'm explaining.
A public service worker. I mean, she gets to sit there and collect the check that's paid for by taxes. I don't know if you really need to be acting like that to people to tourists who come in and ask for, that's probably not so good for the community.
You want to get your thoughts out?
Information is, and on the west side of the square, or from the courthouse.
Courthouse, right next to it. Is it okay? Is there any limit to the parking right here?
There is.
Well, she suggested parking at the courthouse. I wouldn't suggest parking at a courthouse. That's probably a good way to get ticketed. They kind of have that parking for court type things. But, if somebody at the city's suggesting that, hey, park at the courthouse, maybe it's not such a horrible idea to park at City Hall, especially since you're just there as a tourist, just doing touristy type of things, like going to the library. This all makes sense. But,
on this, right in front of your building, I mean, it's open, but I mean, I don't.
did not look happy.
There is a covered parking spot.
Yeah, but that's probably.
To the library.
That's probably for library only too. That could,
No, sir, it's not.
It's public? Okay, so it's not just library parking, it's public parking?
Correct.
Okay, I'll walk over there and look, but what about in front here? I mean, if I keep my car?
Well, we normally keep the spaces in front for people who are coming in and paying their utility bills.
Yeah.
There, across the street from us, is a parking lot.
There's a parking lot right across there? Okay.
Yes, that's behind the TJ Wholesales and the sheriff's office.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a Red Cross.
Which you can look at that on your own Google Maps, but it's just kind of a busted old, empty parking lot. So apparently you can just park wherever you want to in this town. Even though they, according to Travis Hines, they got signs that say something about 2-hour parking. But, according to City Hall, you can just park wherever you want to. So I guess that's cool. I guess that's what she's trying to say.
Trailer in there? Is that?
I don't know if there is or isn't.
Oh, because there's a really it looks like it's not kept up really well. It's like gravel, more like gravel, a space of gravel that got.
Are you pranking me right now, or are you really serious?
I get the impression you don't realize how bad the streets are and the parking is. Then you're not really you're not
Where
really.
Are you from?
Well, the north. I've been in several cities from the north, and I mean the parking's a lot better up north in those cities that I've been to. I guess I got called, or you guys are just here for me.
Oh, they got there quick, didn't they?
Yeah, we're here for you. Okay, all right.
I'm not.
Do you want to
sure
direct?
If he's pranking me, if he's
Oh, that was
my
quick.
way, or if there's something wrong. He's very concerned about the parking, and we're gonna get a photo. We've got a GoPro on our chest, so we're obviously recording.
How did that escalate so quickly? Can somebody answer that? I mean, that was fast. Like we are literally 5 minutes into this interaction, and this video has been running longer than that. These guys are 5 minutes into this interaction, and they're already walking through the door. Oh, that's what happened. What just happened? Seriously, what? Can somebody tell me what just happened?
Don't you have a seat right here?
Seats?
Yeah.
What's
We're
it?
going to go talk to them in the back and find out what's going on.
All right. What is that? All right, yeah, because you didn't hear the conversation,
No,
so.
no, but we'll talk to you too, so.
Show of hands, who's seen something like this before? I'm just saying, like, you know. I can only imagine where this goes from here. All right, well, as I guess I'm gonna go ahead and head out this way.
All right, well, I'm the one that they called the cops on. I guess they buzzed the cops on. And I parked right out here, and I was asking about the park.
Boy, he looks pretty sturdy. Like he's you know, one could only assume nobody's said anything about you're under arrest, you're being detained, you nothing. So far, but this guy just seems to be sturdy right in front of the door there. You can only imagine where this is gonna go.
Parking situation. Apparently, we can park across the street. Because I mean, you know about the 2-hour signs, right? The 2-hour limits. Are you blocking me from exiting?
I'm trying to figure out why I'm being called.
Okay, well, I guess you want to talk to, yeah.
Trying to figure it out. Okay, come on in. I'm gonna go.
You want to talk to the.
Have a seat for me.
What's the problem? What's the
I'm
crime?
just trying to figure out what's going on. Have a
Well,
now let's have a seat.
I've been sitting in my car for all morning. I just want to.
seat. Okay.
I mean, I'll move over if you're afraid I'm gonna escape. I mean, am I being detained?
You're not being detained?
What's the?
Not being detained. Well, then, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and go about my business. Not being detained. I'm not being detained. If I'm not under arrest, he's not being detained. The guy confirmed he's not being detained. What are you telling somebody what to do for? What are you barking orders at the guy for? It ain't none of your business where he's gonna sit, where he's gonna stand. It ain't nothing. He's either under arrest or he's not. There's no like in between. Like you're either breaking the law, or you're not breaking the law. And if you're not breaking the law, you know, then he's free to go. And if he's not breaking the law and he's not free to go, maybe you breaking the law. I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, these guys talk to him. What's the deal?
We're just trying to figure out what your concern is.
Okay, so she gave her side, and you got a full scope of what she said.
No, I'm asking you what your concern is, why you're.
No, are you satisfied with her story, I guess?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah,
So.
so you understand where she's coming from, and my side is I'm interested in finding a good parking spot.
Okay, there's 2 lots right here, if you're looking for on square.
Yeah, and
They are not going to let him go park somewhere, regardless of how the rest of this conversation goes. They got one thing in mind, and it ain't letting this guy walk out that door to go park anywhere in their town. I could be wrong.
if we could walk out there, I mean, I'll show you where I'm parked.
But where were you parked?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Just show me right here.
Am I being detained for a crime?
We're trying to figure out what's
Well,
going
then
on.
it'd probably be easier to like point from the closer area to this parking where I'm at and where I can park outside. You guys prefer to talk inside?
Yes. Hold on.
So he's not under arrest, but they're not letting him go. So they got to figure something out, and they got to figure it out quick. What do you think they're going to do?
Oh, it's because, okay, well, that's reasonable, I guess.
Wait
All
for
right.
it.
Well, I'm parked there, and I mean, I want to go to the library to hang out, but I'm afraid I might stay longer than 2 hours. So, I mean, I'm parked here, and I figure maybe I could just.
We're not sure what your concern is what.
This is a 2-hour parking. I'll get a ticket for 2-hour parking. You know what?
Get a ticket for 2-hour parking.
Okay, so I guess I didn't ask the question directly. Will I get a ticket for parking longer than 2 hours? The answer is no. Okay, well then that settles it.
All right.
Yeah.
So the sheriff is like, all right, you don't get a ticket for 2-hour parking. You're good. Go park your thing. But city cop Officer Harris here don't seem like he's done.
Like,
Driver's license on your real quick?
What's
Driver's license?
what is it?
So I can identify you. Make sure you don't have any.
Oh, we got to identify you.
First we have to establish a crime.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Which is true. Yes, in the state of Missouri, you do. If you're not driving a vehicle, you're just walking around, you're just out there by yourself in the world, you don't have to identify yourself to a police officer. Now, I'm not a lawyer. Go ask a lawyer. But, like, I am of the belief, with fair certainty, that in the state of Missouri, if a cop asks you for your ID just on the streets, walking around, I don't think, could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice, but I don't think that you have to identify yourself without any sort of crime being committed. You're not driving a vehicle. You're just kind of out there. I don't know. We got a lot of Amish people in this state that don't have driver's licenses or state IDs. You don't really know. I guess they're all subject to 24-hour holds. So let's see what happens with Officer Harris.
Yeah,
Making contact with you is good enough.
Yeah, that's fine, and you can make contact.
Hey, I've been called here to make
Harris?
contact with you.
Okay.
Officer Harris.
So he got called there. He's been called there to make contact, and now he's being detained for what? No one knows, but the fact he's a cop, and the fact that somebody called the cops, that's obviously good enough. He's gonna detain the guy, even though he told him he's not being detained. So he's not being detained, but he is being detained because he got called and because he's there and because now he wants... The guy either committed a crime or he didn't, and he already told him he's not being detained, so now he's being held hostage unlawfully. I'm just saying.
Who's the caller?
If you're failing, they are.
Well, no, they were the buzzer. They buzzed,
If
right?
you are failing to identify yourself to me and not give me your ID,
Yeah.
I will take you to jail.
If you want a crime.
Oh, you wanna charge me with a crime?
No,
If you don't identify yourself,
we want to identify you.
Well, I don't.
Where's your
That's
Failing to identify yourself to a police officer who is not arresting you is, and who has no reason to suspect you've committed a crime, is not lawfully detaining you. Mentions to you twice already that you're not lawfully detained. I don't know. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but
I'm sorry, but I have to enforce my Fourth Amendment rights. So
I keep men involved.
I don't understand.
you have the right to
If you
identify
think
yourself to me. so where's your ID?
if you think your prosecutor's gonna back you up on that, they want to follow through on this charge. We'll see how those arguments go.
Yeah.
They tend not to go too well in your favor.
Okay.
Just doing this.
Well,
What, a charge of what?
Do you not want to give me your driver's license?
Well, do you want to give me your driver's license?
I don't have to give you my driver's
Well,
license.
I don't understand why you can't give me.
I'm making contact with you.
I'm making contact with you.
I'm going to run you
And
to make
these
sure
two.
there's no warrants.
So according to Officer Harris of the Bethany, Missouri Police Department, if a police officer makes contact with you, you must, on their demand, give up your identification and let them run your identification to see that you don't have any warrants. So apparently in Bethany, Missouri, you just don't talk to cops ever. If you see a cop, you walk the other direction, you run, and hope to God they don't see you. If they see you, immediately you're suspected of a crime that they can't articulate and that, may or may not exist, but you absolutely better make sure that you can, prove without a shadow of a doubt immediately that you haven't committed any non-described crimes. Boy, this is not gonna end well.
Let me get all. You're Harris.
Yep, I'm Harris.
I guess I'm gonna have to get familiar with who you guys are. May I get your name?
Trevor Place, I'm the sheriff.
Trevor Place, and you're the actual sheriff, not just a deputy.
No.
Okay.
You'd think the sheriff of Harrison County would know the law himself. I mean, we'll get into that, but that's not a deputy. That is the actual sheriff of the county. Boy, just blowing it right here. This is Mike Parsons, Missouri, where law and order, you can forget about it. And keep in mind, our governor used to be a sheriff. I'm waiting for him to weigh in on this, but it's been a good, couple of weeks now.
All right. Place. Is that okay? And then your name?
Brandon York.
York. Okay. York.
Y-O-R-K, yeah.
Okay. All right. So making contact is not what the RAS or whatever. It's just making contact. You can make contact with anybody. You don't need to just. Are you asking ID for your own curiosity,
No,
or for the betterment of the?
We were called over here because there was someone that was irate.
Irate.
City Hall.
Okay.
Okay, we don't know before we
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
here. What I'm telling
You were
is-
buzzed too.
We weren't buzzed.
Oh, you were actually called? They didn't have a buzzer? Oh,
There's like 8 or 10 people back here that could call. So,
okay.
the reason
Of course, while the door was open, you know, you couldn't see 8 or 10 people, but, you know, who knows?
we're asking for your ID is because a crime has been committed. We're not trying to charge
Now a crime has been committed.
you with one.
Well, if you think you want to follow through on charging me with a crime, I mean, see what your prosecutor, your city prosecutor would want to, you know, go through.
So here's the question is, why don't you identify yourself? We'll all move on.
Well, why don't we
So he's already told he
understand, establish
It's not being
the crime,
detained.
and we got a Fourth Amendment here. We got to get through here. All right, and I mean, there's steps to take with that. If you want to fully charge me with a crime, then I guess you have to arrest me, you know, and follow through on that. If you think that's what your city prosecutor is going to support you on. I mean, this is a contact thing. I was just asking about parking. This would be laughed out of court, Harris. But if you want to follow through.
Yeah. Are you failing to give me your ID?
Are you failing to give me your ID?
Are you failing to give me your ID?
Okay, I'm willing to exchange IDs.
Face the wall.
All right.
Put your phone down.
All right.
Put your phone down. Face the wall.
Being annoying is not a crime in the state of Missouri. I just figured I'd throw that out there. You know, being polite isn't a crime either, but being annoying is definitely not, at least, again, I'm not a lawyer, but last time I checked, being annoying is not a misdemeanor offense.
You're taking this, what's that?
Place your hands behind your back.
All right, you're taking this way beyond than it needs to go.
No, actually, I'm not.
You're not? Oh, okay. Well, your city prosecutor is probably going to be really happy with you. So the crime...
Got one in custody right now.
Earlier, he wasn't being
A
detained.
simple contact has to turn into an arrest.
You don't want to comply? That's what
Comply. Where's your ID, Harris?
You don't need my ID.
Harris, you don't need my ID either then.
Phone's in your pocket, let's go.
Harris. Can I get your first name? What's your
John.
John Harris.
Yep. What's your name?
John Harris.
Told you my name. What's your name?
All right. Well, it's Travis. John.
What's the way you want to play it?
Play it.
You know, in such
There's
a small
no
town.
crime. You're not playing by any crime.
It's against the law not to identify yourself when a police officer asks you.
Well,
That's not a crime. It's just not. Police officer asks you what your name is, and there's no crime committed. You're not being investigated for a crime. You're not being detained. He already mentioned to him twice that he wasn't being detained. He does not have to give the police officer his name, period.
I asked for your ID. You're not willing to exchange. You're breaking the law. But if you want to make that your sole charge, is that okay? Is that your sole charge, John Harris? Not identifying, just general.
Failure to comply, failure to identify.
Okay.
Peace disturbance.
Oh, you're going with the
Oh yeah.
disorderly conduct. Okay, that's really going to carry over.
Disorderly conduct.
Make your
but,
arguments really
you know,
good in your little police report.
He wasn't being detained
please.
earlier.
Make it as
It's not going to go so well.
for the jury to believe as you can.
I mean, there's video evidence of this. Come on. I pulled this off of YouTube myself. Where does he think this is going to go? Somehow the camera's still rolling. But they're in the sheriff's office now. You know, this is usually how this works. Well, surely this video is going to end at some point, right?
It is. We just there. Have a couple flights of stairs to go.
Yeah.
There's still COVID operations or whatever. You guys have COVID protocol.
I don't know about the jail. I don't.
You don't? Yeah, you clearly don't. Yeah, you're really hands-on. COVID must not be a big issue here.
Yeah, you don't know who our governor is.
Alright. Before we go in here, do you have any weapons or drugs on you?
Drugs? I don't believe I shouldn't have
Check.
anything.
I'm gonna check you. Because if you have anything, once we go through those gates, it's an automatic felony.
Automatic what?
Felony.
Penalty, you say?
Felony.
Felony?
Yep. Well,
Oh, you're gonna search me, all right.
I just told you I was.
Yeah, because we got a big crime that we're prosecuting
We're
here.
going into the jail, so
Yeah.
that he wasn't being detained for.
Yeah,
Just
you're charging me with a real serious crime.
literally 15 minutes ago. Or it was literally 10 minutes ago, he wasn't being detained.
Big city.
No? Why's that?
Why is that, you ask?
Yep. Why's that?
Because you obviously are overly sensitive about talk.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you don't
Try talking with you.
Try to spend a couple of weeks in Las Vegas, buddy, and you'll see you have a complete change in attitude. You're just a small town cop who has barely any experience.
Okay.
Well, he doesn't know the law,
How
so...
long have you been working here? Harris, John Harris?
Just under 2 years, man.
2 years? Yeah,
Mhm.
you're pretty new to this.
Sure.
I mean, state law, U.S. Constitution, you know, we just forget about that. We do what we want. Mike Parsons, Missouri.
I'll look forward to reading your report.
Okay.
How everybody got offended and hurt.
We try to figure out what's going on. You don't want to comply.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
when you
all
don't
right.
want to comply,
I told you what I was looking for, parking space.
It's got a couple cameras on him. His phone.
He didn't comply because he didn't have to. He's not legally obligated to.
Yeah.
It's like you have no legal right to arrest him for no reason.
Yeah, I have no problem. If you wanted to exchange IDs, you're demanding ID straight up, and that's not required in identification. We can exchange names. The green chair? Oh, I see. Okay.
Also, behind 2 locked doors. He still ain't got them cameras off.
Oh yeah, you got an ID there, huh? Yeah, just by illegally Fourth Amendment checking me,
Wow.
violating my Fourth Amendment.
So, yeah, I mean, violating the guy's Fourth Amendment, making an unlawful arrest, making up charges as they go, after they already told him that he wasn't being detained twice. Twice. Within 5 minutes of an interaction with a city hall employee. And now they've got him, they take it. You got any drugs or weapons on you? Because as soon as we get you through these gates, if you have anything, it's a felony. But let's just leave the cameras on. Let's just, oh my God. Oh, this guy is going to be working at 7-Eleven. Ooh.
Yeah, illegal. This is all illegal. This is all suable. And I'd recommend you talk to your prosecutor about this.
Oh, security cameras on his camera,
It's all
on
suable activity.
YouTube. What's all that?
Hey, 28,
What's that?
29.
Scheduling, processing, private documents for the PD.
Hy-Vee has Western Union. Okay.
Hines.
And I'm pretty sure this is at the local justice center. So the sheriff may be also working out of this this facility here. So that's very well could be
Inmates
county.
in there, huh? How many inmates are here today?
1975.
I could count them, I'm sure. Right, they're all just these. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. OLM William David Lincoln. 700. Sam Frank. 0 Sam Boy. Washington.
Wow, that's something. Still, camera's just on. No problem. I wonder how long it's gonna be before they decide to, you know, as he said before, you can tell he's a small town cop because he really don't know nothing about nothing. I mean, the guy doesn't know anything about his job anyway. They're making unlawful arrests. They ain't figured out how to turn these cameras off yet, or there might be a smart idea to do that before they take him into a, you know, into a
Thank you.
spot where there's, you know, civilian populace probably ain't supposed to have cameras at. They got sensitive information with regard to law enforcement of any kind.
Mistakes in your booking steps.
Oh God, of course. Can't count on folks to spell things right, that's for sure. Why would they? They ain't read the Constitution either. I mean, clearly these guys are not cut out to be, you know, attorneys.
What's 24?
24-hour hold, investigative hold.
Investigative hold.
Which again, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure in the state of Missouri, I believe it's a, I want to say it's a 20-hour hold, 18 to 20-hour hold. for non-violent misdemeanors, arrest without a warrant, but for 24-hour hold, I don't know that that's exactly legal in the state either, considering it is a non-violent misdemeanor and they didn't have a warrant, didn't even have a reason. It wasn't even actually a real charge. They told the guy twice he was not being detained, and then freaking held him hostage and a 24-hour hold.
Are you removing my cuffs?
I am, sir.
All
Missouri
right.
statute's got something to say about that.
Okay, yeah, fine.
And again, Missouri ain't really good about following their statutes, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Why has it got a blue stripe on it? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, back to blue. You can get them blue, yellow.
Yeah, okay, I got it. So back. I just never seen that.
Yeah, they got red ones with those training.
24-hour hold to find out who I am.
No, I know who you are now.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because of the.
I got charges. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna do is take off your coat.
So 24-hour hold just because, you know, because we can.
On this chair, empty out your pockets, set it on that desk, take all your cameras off. Everything goes on that desk.
He knows who he is. He knows he doesn't have, oh, great, ads. Go ahead and bust down on that. So they know who he is. They know he doesn't have any warrants or anything crazy like that. But we're just going to hold him for 24 hours for no reason. That's good.
How far do I strip? Just.
Take the cameras off, beanie.
What's the bond? Am I getting, what's the bond or whatever?
Well, now we're taking the cameras off. All right.
Just sit for 24 hours?
Yep.
What about my car? This is strange. I just sit for 24 hours, so what time is it now?
You got registered at 9:23.
9:23. I just sit here till 9:23 tomorrow and then get released?
If there's no charges brought down, yeah.
Oh, he's working on charges.
Yeah. We're gonna take your paint pack off, put it up there.
Got to see if we can make something stick and just punish this guy for coming into our town and sassing our city hall workers. They don't have any reason. Have any reason to arrest him in the first place. We're just gonna do what we want because, you know, we got the guns, and who's gonna say anything about it? Is that the end of it? All right, we're gonna call it quits there. All right, so again, we saw this originally from KMA Land, 96 or 960 AM, 99.1 FM, which I don't believe they did a follow up on that article, which was kind of strange. But so let's take a look at something here. I want to pull up get the map right. Okay, the right angles. So let's see, Bethany Municipal Utilities, and okay, so the library was down there. Let's find out. Okay. Bethany City Hall. So let's just so we kind of know what's going on in the small town of Bethany, Missouri, right? So, and as we saw from the video, let's see. So this is, oh, here real quick. That. No. All right, so this is the city hall, right? You know, again from 2013, but it really doesn't look like they updated the place that much. I mean, this just looks like any other, you know, small town in Missouri, right? It's not so great. This is that dilapidated parking lot he was looking at, according to Google Capture from 2013. 2013. So yeah, from 7, 8, almost 9 years ago. That's the parking lot's about the same as it was, just gross. And this is the facility that they took him to there. But so let's see. So City Hall's right here. Let's see, what's this building next door? What's that? What is that? Ah, that's the Republican Clipper. That's the local paper, who failed to put out any kind of news reports about this when the guy was arrested, or after the arrest, or several days after the arrest. But we'll jump right into that. Right next door to the city hall, so that's kind of. So let's jump back over here. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, so so this is a couple of split party here. So they arrested him. They held him for a 24-hour hold. And this is some of, obviously, you know, I don't want to tell you immediately that he was released after the 24-hour hold, of course. But this is some of what his release came with. Now, this is in the court, or Circuit Court of Harrison County, Associate Division. A defendant shall comply with the following conditions imposed in this court. Obey all laws, alcohol, da-da-da. Let's see. The Bethany staff. Defendant is not to be within 900 feet of the victim. Victim's place of employment, which is the Bethany City Hall. Defendant not to be on the premises. Not to enter onto property. So he can't go to Bethany City Hall. He's got a cash bond. If posted, may be applied to money is due in any case. And it's looking like the defendant not to have his or her possession any firearm, defined any statutes, and then, of course, fingerprinting. And this is the follow-up video, my court documents after 24 hours in jail in Bethany, Missouri. They've got a defendant shall sign a HIPAA release so Mr. Coleman can communicate with defendant's healthcare providers and so he can receive any and all records he believes he needs. Defendant shall be subject to immediate rearrest and bond, may be subject to forfeiture if court has reason to believe there's been a violation of bond conditions. Court date, da-da-da. So, had to post the bond, right? Let's see. Patient or services. Let's see. And payment received. So, looking like that cost him technology fee, $50. Hey, you guys never heard of Square before? Jesus Christ. Cash bail amount, $500. So they cost him $500. That's fun. Just like, hey, $500, bro. Just give us money because you came into town. You messed with the wrong people. Looking like it's second-degree harassment and peace disturbance. Well, that's fun. Second-degree harassment. Who is he harassing? Did you watch the video? So, yeah. That's neat. And of course, this is information that he, Travis Hines had posted publicly on his own YouTube channel for our viewing pleasure, right? So there's that. But yeah, so I didn't immediately want to say, but obviously he was released after 24 hours, and I guess in the time that he was released and the follow-up, or because he gets released, the guy posted the video and then made another video about what happened immediately after he was released. And I guess the guy's got, quite a few subscribers on YouTube and definitely got a lot of hits on this video, which is weird because it's not like really anybody's, seen it besides his viewer base, but he does have a large list of subscribers. But I guess, and this is the funny thing, that the people who watched the video were not very happy about the job that the people that the government, the local government of the county and the city were doing to people who come into their town just to come into their town, use their public library and park, and might be annoyed by signs that talk about being charged for parking, right? Just the whole, watch the video. But I guess there was a backlash, and so obviously the local PD got some not so positive feedback on their Facebook page. The sheriff got some not so positive feedback on their Facebook page. I mean, I didn't see it, so I would just assume so. The city of Bethany got some not so positive feedback on their Facebook page. I'm assuming also got some not so positive feedback on the old telephone. In fact, so much not so positive feedback that the city of Bethany closed down their Facebook page. The local PD closed down their Facebook page, and the sheriff, that guy, closed down their Facebook page. It's gone. It's gone. It's just gone. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. Like this is the Bethany, Missouri Fire Department page. The freaking fire department, which probably the fire department is also, staffed with members of the police department, because that's just kind of how it works in a lot of small towns. Not all, but some. Content not available right now. This is like today, like you can get on there and look it up yourself. That's just gone. All of this is just gone. It's like it never even existed. Super strange. Even so you can't get a hold of the city. You can't get a hold of the police. You can't get, through non-emergency lines. Can't get a hold of the police. Can't get a hold of the city. Can't get a hold of the sheriff. Can't get a hold of the fire department. And if you try to get a hold of the Bethany, Missouri Chamber of Commerce, because, this seems like something that they, might want to make a priority, since it's going to affect business in the city of Bethany. I guess folks had, taken the Chamber of Commerce as their last resort. Well, not necessarily last resort, because we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, on November 8th, PSA, before you post your opinion pertaining to the recent interaction between Travis and the local police department, pleases, this breeding obviously is huge in Bethany, Missouri. It's huge in Missouri in general, but here especially, as we saw. Pleases keep in mind the Chamber of Commerce is a non-profit entity separate from local government. Oh, local government members will probably also own businesses, or rather business owners will probably be involved in local government. A town of 3,000 people. That's kind of how it works everywhere else in the country, and especially here in good old Mike Parsons, Missouri. Your comments would be better served if sent to the city of Bethany, which you can't reach, period, or the Bethany Police Department, which you can't reach, period, unless you call 911. Posts pertaining to this incident will be promptly deleted and the user blocked, as it has nothing to do with the BCC. Our purpose is to promote local business, not to play politics or weigh in on legal opinion. Thank you for your continued support, which of course this will affect business, and very much politics affects business. It's 2021. If you don't think so, then you probably shouldn't be in business, but that's another story all to itself. And actually, I misspoke. You can find the City of Bethany's Facebook page. It looks a little something like this. Where to go in Bethany? Eat, drink, sightseeing, the list of businesses, upcoming events, but you can't reach out to them actually. They've taken away the option to show their posts, videos, pictures, their About Us page. There's no way to get any information on the city of... They're hiding, basically. They're hiding... I mean, let's be fair. They're hiding because of the backlash, obviously. For those who, are just let's say, not interested, or otherwise would be against, cronyist police officers and the local sheriff just doing whatever the hell they want to, and arresting people, making up false charges, and putting people in jail for no damn reason at all. But there's also that element that I've found through some quick searches through social media, mostly Facebook, because these kind of folks are all over Facebook, right? I guess there's a good sized, I'm gonna say in a percentage of the community or the county is in support of the police's actions, but yeah, that's a thing. In fact, the Harrison County Mo News Talk. It's a local, it's kind of like a buy-sell trade local group on Facebook, but obviously it's a little bit more toward local news, right? News they call it news from within Harrison County, Missouri, and things of interest for Harrison County, Missouri, right? So, they want to talk about things of interest and news. Yeah, every single post that I saw about Travis Heinz and the arrest, because believe me, there were some, gone. I mean, and it was just some gnarly stuff. I mean, I mean, they were calling him a you know, because he's got a video talking about you know, an arrest or an investigation because of a tenant and some things. So, you know, obviously his tenant was up to some really bad stuff, and he made a video about that. And so the next thing you know, they're calling him a child predator. They're calling him a, you know, some kind of, you know, horrible monster. Which, I mean, the guy's got a video that says some pretty wild things, and you go to watch the video and come to find out the guy was investigated because he had a tenant before the age of Wi-Fi who was doing some pretty monstrous things, and that was a whole mess, a bunch of nightmare. And I guess it pretty much screwed the guy's life up, and because of the cronyism in his local police department and local authorities where, you know, where it is that he's from, I guess that's what put him on the path to doing this kind of thing and traveling around and, you know, seeing if the cops in your town can act right or not. Because apparently the cops in his town couldn't act right. So he's finding places like this where, you know, especially, you know, and just from some of the local stuff that I heard. I mean, don't take my word for it. This is from the Bethany Republican Clipper. They posted, you know, took them up until the 11th of November. Pull this up here. See if we can get a good shot of that. Nope, sure can't. Be too much like right. Let's see. The Republican Clipper says Bethany, Missouri law enforcement found itself in the national spotlight. Now again, on that previous page, the Bethany, Missouri, or what was it, Harrison County Mo News Talk, there were some comments that mentioned that the Bethany Republican Clipper would not post anything. I guess somebody either knew somebody or reached out to them specifically and asked, and at least through the rumor mill on these, you know, Gab forums, it was remarked that folks at the Bethany Republican Clipper would not post about this because they were in support of law enforcement. I don't know. That's what was said. Obviously, those posts are just gone now. Like, every single post is just gone. It's the craziest thing. There's some of the most disastrous posts on that group are gone. But, you know, crazy stuff. That's all. It's all public. I mean, you can check it out yourself. But, you know, finally, they did post on the 11th. Of course, he was arrested on the 3rd and then released on the 4th. And, you know, the other guys, they didn't post any follow-up about it in their news journal either. But the Bethany Republican Clipper finally puts out, Bethany law enforcement found itself in the national spotlight when a man from Aberdeen, Washington, who has a reputation for posting videos on YouTube of himself confronting police, landed in jail last week on charges of harassing city employees. The charges have been dropped, but views of videos related to the incident have reached more than 33,000 as of Monday. Now, I can only imagine why the charges were dropped. And I guess they were dropped, you know, immediately following the incident. You know, partly because obviously what those cops were doing and what that sheriff was doing, they knew it was illegal. They knew it was illegal. They just didn't think that they were. But obviously, and that's coming from, again, the rumor mill, is that either the sheriff or the local PD, one of the two, some wing of law enforcement that operates in and around Bethany, is having some trouble. Either they're under investigation or they're just having some sort of trouble with cronyism in general and cops doing whatever they want to out there. I mean, can you imagine that in Missouri, just police doing whatever they want to? I mean, are you kidding me? Local government, city government, a county government, or even the state government just doing what it is that they feel like. I mean, I can imagine this. I mean, we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, so that's a thing. Yeah, what else did we have? Oh, so then I saw this posted not too long after that. I guess this is from just soon after the arrest and then the release of Travis Heinz. City of Bethany posted this. Let's see. Pull it in. So City of Bethany posted now accepting applications for post-certified police officer. So that's unique, and this is on the events of Bethany, Missouri, because there's no other place that you'll see that. It was posted specifically by Events of Bethany, Missouri, so the group themselves posted it. The Bethany Police Department is currently accepting applications for post-certified police officer. Starting salary is negotiable. Maybe they're reconsidering that last guy. I don't know. The applicant must be 21 years of age, free from felony convictions, and of good moral character, because they obviously failed at least a couple of times with that. Paid vacations, holiday compensation, paid health insurance, something retirement plan, and an annual uniform allowance. Well, that's cool. Pick up an application, returned by November 19th, 2021. 12 noon at Bethany City Hall. The City of Bethany is an equal opportunity employer. Well, that's nice, because they're definitely not equal opportunity when it comes to private citizens having rights and folks from out of town coming in and not getting their face run through the ringer, right? It's pretty crazy, but this is typical of what we can expect in Mike Parsons, Missouri. Cronyism in small towns, not every small town, obviously. There are some really good folks out there who work, in law enforcement, sheriffs, really good folks who work at sheriff's departments. Really good folks who work, as city police officers. There's some folks who work as sheriffs who, get arrested and get charged and then get those charges dropped because, this kind of thing. Then there's some folks who local fire departments, local police officers who are doing really good work. They're out there saving lives. They're out there doing their thing. They're out there, protecting people. But then, hell, even myself, I got blocked from a local government agency. I won't tell you which one, but a local government agency for criticizing how they handled situation during an emergency situation, for basically for criticizing how a emergency services government taxpayer entity that I pay for with my taxes, how they handle emergency services. Just simply for criticizing them, not for saying any naughty words or, anything crazy, just by coming out and saying, hey, this was pretty unprofessional. What's going on here? The citizens of such and such community expect better. And yeah, for that first time ever posted on social media, got blocked from commenting and from, liking any posts, which pretty sure Governor Mike Parson and former Governor, touchy-feely grabby hands, Greitens, both got sued for, because, that's a violation of civil liberties. So, I haven't gotten a lawyer or anything like that. We'll play it out and see if these folks can act right before, before the ACLU gets called, right, for, actually infringing on a minority's First Amendment rights to reach out to a government entity in their official capacity through social media. It's very much not legal. But what these guys did with their social media is technically legal, because they shut it down for everybody. See, you can't block Chainsaw from social media because Chainsaw thinks that you could do a better job and that you should do a better job in handling your business when you're a government entity and you're taking Chainsaw's money for taxes. But see, what the city of Bethany and the local PD and the sheriff's office, what they did is actually perfectly fine. Cowardly as hell, but it's perfectly fine by shutting off their social media at all. It's almost like they never had it. If a government entity or person in government has an official social media account that is in their official capacity, that now belongs to the office that they belong to, not to the individual. And by them censoring anyone, they are basically committing a crime, or at least a civil rights infraction. But by just eliminating the account altogether, or making it not public and keeping away access from everyone There's actually nothing wrong with that. It's cowardly and it's incredibly stupid, and it shows the weak backbone of the local police department there in the city. It shows the weak backbone of the city hall. It shows the weak backbone of the local sheriff, who obviously was there and should have done something about that rogue cop committing crimes right in front of him, but obviously he couldn't figure that out. But, you know, it's shameful. It's disgusting. They should all be fired. You know, they should just quit. They should literally just walk out of their jobs tomorrow and go work at a 7-Eleven or, you know, flip burgers, because that's what they're cut out for. Obviously not dealing with people. But speaking of which, there is a silver lining to this story, other than the fact that the guy got let out of jail. The charges were dropped because the prosecutor, you know, the prosecutor's job is to, you know, figure out what the law is and then go ahead and, you know, let that be a thing. But yeah, so the charges were dropped. It still ended up costing the guy his, you know, processing fee, because the city of Bethany can't figure out what Square is. They're charging people $50 for processing and whatnot, for their payments there, which is just insane to me. I guess it cost him a little bit more for something else regarding his bond or his release or whatever. But you know, he's made some follow-up videos. Check it out. It's what's it called? Let's Exchange IDs with Travis Heinz. Definitely worth your time. The guy be coming to a city near you. Tell him to come to your town, especially if you live in Missouri. You know, tell him all about all the crazy goofiness going on down there. And, you know, let's see if your local government agencies can act right. I mean, they all should. All of them. You know, and if you work at a city hall, you work at a fire department, you know, if you're a cop, if you're a sheriff, you know, you should be doing your job. You should, like, none of this should piss you off. None of this should offend you. All of this should piss you off and offend you, that there are people out here who are making you look bad. You know, the only police officers who are going to not enjoy that people are knowing about crony cops are bad cops. So I'll see you in the comments, I guess. But the other silver lining to this, and this is, I guess it's a local journalist out of, I believe it's Los Angeles, YouTuber. I can tell you that, Johnny 50. The guy was actually the one who turned me onto this. So we're gonna show a clip of the one. I guess this is just before. He was able to reach out to the city of Bethany. He tried reaching out to the local PD, reaching out to the sheriff. The sheriff had a direct number. Obviously, he ain't trying to answer no calls because he's ashamed of himself and he knows what he did. But he was able to kind of sort of reach out to the city of Bethany, and this is how that interaction went. So warning, you might, you know, he doesn't exactly say some naughty words, but he says some weird things, so you might get the kids out the room for this one.
You've reached the city of Bethany. I'm sorry we cannot get you the phone. Please leave your name and number, and we will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
This message is for the police department. My name is Johnny. I'm calling from outside of the state. You guys are hard to get a hold of. I just wanted to let you guys know that I back the blue, I bareback the blue, and I support police 110%. And I just want to let you know, I saw that video of that man, I mean, I don't even, who thought he had rights. This is America. Let's put the KKK back in America. Who I don't understand where these people come from, and they think that because they live in America that they have rights and that they have civil liberties and that they have freedom to do things. I just want to thank the city of Bethany, Missouri. Can you clarify? Is it Missouri, city of Bethany, Missouri?
Well,
that
Missouri.
You guys don't honor any of that stuff, man, and I want to applaud. I want to applaud your back the blue, your blueberries, because without you, I mean, where would we be? I mean, people would be like, you know, I see this picture of a park, a drone shot of a park with lake and stuff like that. Like, what? People think that you can just go walk around and have fun and maybe, you know, feed the ducks with your kids and shoot pictures and ask questions of the police. How dare any person think that they can ask questions of the police? Just obey, just comply, and don't ask questions. Don't ask, hey, it says 2-hour parking. Am I free? They shouldn't even be engaging you guys. You guys are heroes. So I'm at a complete loss. I just wanted to say that I bear back the Blue Klux Klan and all of your endeavors, and you guys are doing an amazing job, man. I don't care what anybody else says.
So yeah, there's more to it.
Blue Klux Klan.
Let's see if we can skip over to that real quick.
The police chief. Oh, that's not. Oh, there's a.
So then he comes across this. I don't know if you can see that too well. Can't really do a whole lot of good zooming in there. So let me. Look, check it out yourself. It's Johnny 50, right, on YouTube. But they do. It's basically an annual report. The budget report, right? Annual budget report. So it's talking about things about, like, you know. And there's only what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 police officers. Officer Harry Harrison being the you know, the arresting officer there, the genius that he is, being at the very end. Obviously he's the newest one, gets paid the least, still making you know, decent money, just going around wasting gas and harassing people and, you know, committing crimes with a gun on his hip for no reason. I don't know why they give that guy a flak jacket. I'm just saying they should make him ride a bicycle. Maybe he gets a job at the library. He seems pretty cut out for that, you know. But yeah, the thing that's highlighted there, and you probably can't see it from here, and there's definitely no way I could possibly zoom in on that since it's you know, the format. But check it out, Johnny 50, great content, at least as far as I could tell. Now, if he says something crazy, that's on you, not me. Just showing you what I saw here. But it's talking about advertising and marketing. These guys spend, a police department spends $500 a year on advertising and marketing. Now, who the hell's doing that? What kind of cop, you know, what do cops need $500? Any department, anywhere. I don't care if it's Kansas City. What do you need $500 a year for marketing purposes? What are you taking out radio ads? I mean, what are you doing? Like, none of this makes any sense to me. But yeah, that's what's going on there. And like I say, look, you know, this isn't. I didn't make this video to, you know, didn't include the segment, which depending on time may take up the entire hour here. But you know, didn't make this up just to pick up on cops. I didn't make this to pick on people who you know, support law enforcement. Again, I've got law enforcement in my own family, but they, you know, if they were, unfortunately, you know, had passed away because of age and whatnot, because you can't really live to be 115. That's a thing. But at the same time, you know, those folks would be ashamed and embarrassed that there are people out there just doing this stuff, just committing crimes. If you're a cop and you're not embarrassed that somebody's out there doing that, I mean, just arresting people for no freaking reason, got no self-control, just picking up tourists and harassing people, putting them in handcuffs and holding them for 24 hours because they just can, and make, you know, embarrassing your town, embarrassing, you know, the industry of law enforcement. I mean, you should be pissed off about that. You absolutely should be. We do not. The United States needs good cops. And apparently Bethany, Missouri, you know, is one place, and the county it resides in is one place where they definitely need, you know, good cops. Because, I mean, I don't know about the other guys on that list, but looking like the sheriff's just as bad as the last one on the city PD list. And City Hall is not doing so good either. You know, thank God the prosecutors got a little common sense, you know, to figure out that this is just not going to fly. I mean, if they didn't laugh, you know, themselves stupid whenever this came across their desk, you know, a lot of folks who don't need to be carrying guns out there. I'm just saying. And like I say, you know, even in my my situation, you know, cronyism, it starts, you know, it doesn't start at the local level. It starts in Jefferson City, you know. When communities and the state just allow this stuff to happen, well, what do you expect? So get active, get local. Well, we're going to take a look on time and see if this may have overrun us on time. So this may be the entire show. If not, we'll get back to you after a short break. Webull is the stock app and trading platform that everybody's using, and I mean everybody's using. You've seen it all over YouTube. I use it on my own channel to show what's happening in the market. You pay 0 commission fees. You can own fractional shares. You can even trade in cryptocurrencies and access real-time market data. Use my referral link, chainsawccc.com/Webull. That's chainsawccc.com/Webull, Webull, and get you 2 free stocks. Simply by opening an account and depositing any amount, get you 2 free stocks from Webull. Believe me, you're going to want this one. Thanks for watching and listening. If you're audio only, Chainsaw, Cash, Coffee, and Chaos. Again, to paraphrase, eventually quote, one of my favorite journalists, show is nothing without you, the viewer. Without you, I am quite literally just a guy in a room by himself talking to himself. So you make the entire experience much, much less sad. Definitely check me out on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Got to work on the TikTok. Twitch, at Chainsaw CCC. Hit me up on Facebook, Chainsaw Money. And don't forget to subscribe, chainsawccc.com/YouTube. Get your free stocks with Webull, all the free cash with M1. Get start trading today. And yeah, man, the show is 100% self-funded. So thank you very much for the support. And yeah, let me know what you think.